Hi, thanks for tuning in to Tang Soo TV again. We have another great episode for you. I'm Master Dan Segura, and in this week's episode, we have another great grappling application and drill by Master Josh Trowbridge. We have another fantastic form application by Master Matt Becker, another great Tao story by Josanim Dam Bazufi and myself, and another great drill by yours truly, and a surprise for you this week as well, a surprise segment. So, with that, we're going to start with our first segment. Master Matt Becker, take it away.
Thank you, Master Segura. This is Matt Becker in La Jolla, California, and these are the applications of the Pyongan forms. Today we're going to look at the middle sections of a couple of the forms, Pyongan Idan and Pyongan Samdan. If you know the forms, you'll recognize these techniques. Here. Those are the form movements. Now let's look at the applications. First, we have an application for this movement. Let's look at what it is. The next, we have an application for this combination of movements. I've prepared a couple examples of what I believe this motion is with a couple finishes that I just threw in there on my own. Not necessarily out of the form, but it shows you examples of what can be done with this type of grab that I view as the application of the spear hand.
In this first application, when I push, he pushes back. So, I throw him. In the next application, once I get his arm, I pull and he resists. So, I trip him. In the last application, he remains somewhat neutral. So, I drag his arm and get behind him for the choke.
Finally, we have this application. Which I believe is a counter to an arm bar. Anytime you extend your arms away from your body to reach, there's a possibility of you getting arm barred. So Pyongan Samdan contains the counter to an arm bar. Then finally, there's this movement here. I believe this is the application of a front bear hug or a lapel grab. Let's see what it looks like with a partner. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week. Back to you, Master Segura. Tang Soo!
That was a great form application, Master Becker. Forms are so important, and if you don't know the applications, then you really don't completely understand the form. So we appreciate Master Becker for sharing his theories and applications on the forms. Okay, now we're going to go to Master Josh Trowbridge with another great grappling segment. Take it away, Master Trowbridge.
Thank you, Master Segura. My name is Josh Trowbridge with World Model Tang Soo Federation right here in Madison, Wisconsin. Today we're going to work on full mount. So the very first episode we showed when they're on top, the upa or the bridge and roll, how to get them off. Now we're going to follow up with us as the top person. The last episode we worked on side mount, two mount, and we ended on the mount. Today I'm going to show you how to maintain position and how to set up to take the back, which in Jiu-Jitsu is one of our ideal positions. If we have our opponent's back, that gives us a lot of opportunity. So we're going to start just directly on the mount today. So we're going to work on positional control. This is about the worst spot to sit, just sitting straight up on top of the mount. Anytime we actually get mount control, for us, even if we plan on striking, this lets us get thrown all over the place. With our weight directly over our hips, we're one solid brick. So any movement is going to take us either side. So what we want to do is lower our center of gravity and spread it out a little bit. So I'm going to come down and base out with my hands. I'm going to keep my stomach very low to his, and if you watch my feet, they're going to come to a point. So as I go down, my body comes down, my toes are up in between. You'll see variations, grapevines, hooking the ankles, tons of different ways to sit on here, but the basic way I show is what a lot of times we refer to as Superman base. So I'm up here and I'm letting most of the weight into my body. So this is freeing my hands up. Here's our strikes. We can start hooking with our hands. So this leaves us very mobile. Without a lot of practice, it can be a little harder, so we're going to do just more of a basic heavy base today. So that we're still going to think of touching, but instead of leaving so much weight into our body, we're going to let our hands take over a little more, so we use our forearms. So as we're down underneath, I'm still going to have a good hook. And remember, relax. So I want to be mobile. The lighter I am, the heavier I am. The more I stiffen up, the easier to move I am. So when I relax, even though I'm 190, I seem like 220. So I want to almost think like Jello, real putty. As I'm here, no matter which way he's going to try to roll me, I'm going to stay very relaxed. So if he rolls me towards the camera there, here's this hand. And if you look, I counterweight. So I hook up. So this left foot, right hand, left foot comes up. So if he's going to shift, I'm going to hook up. As you can even see, as I move the other way, watch my right knee. Just a little tuck. This gives me a good base, so essentially I have two hands. One here and one here. This stops here, this stops here. If I roll the other way, this one's up. Here's my hook. Nice and high up here between the feet. Back and forth. I can stay centered too if I'm taller, heavier, stronger. I can use a little bit of advantage, but I don't want to take that for granted. But I can if my feet are tied up, if maybe he's got his legs flat, he kicks out to try to roll and pins my legs. Now I'm going to use just my hands. So as I move, same thing. Boom, turn, boom, or I can do a wide base. This will work too. Just be careful for if we go too wide, because eventually he's going to start fishing through. So he's going to hook, and then we're going to start having to get into some arm play here. So I just want to be real relaxed. Even this way, if I'm here, he tries to bridge up. He's going to try the upa. I can stay. Even if he tries to roll me. So both people on here, the one on the bottom and the one on top, if you're both skilled, it's not going to be a simple one and off. It's just like anything else. There's going to be a lot of back and forth. It's just like a chess game. So there's little pawns that are being played, little moves make the biggest difference. Things you don't even really see or pay attention to, I should say, are some of the times the biggest factors when it comes to two people that are equal on the ground. Biggest thing you have to remember on the ground, don't get frustrated. Don't fight to keep a position that's just going to wear you out. It's not like stand-up. Stand-up, we can step with our foot and reset our whole position. On the ground, we're stuck here. If we're on the bottom, we're not going anywhere. Even if I'm on top, if he has a hold of me, I'm not going anywhere. So as we're here, again, there's so many different positions. If I'm here, I can hit, but he can be bucking me off, so I'm never going to be able to really get my hands going. If I'm back, I can hit. So I can really use my tools. Now on here, we're going to show a basic transition. What I mean by basic transition is, as strikers, as most Tang Soo practitioners aren't comfortable on the ground, this can be an opportunity to use our strikes and to soften them up. Even if I'm very skilled on the ground, my strikes are going to be my softer techniques, my opener techniques. So I don't want to get cocky and assume that I'm just going to be able to get him to do exactly what I want to do all the time. In a street fight, I want to use every single tool I have. So striking is one of them. If this is a real fight, that's one of my first go-tos. Well, I have control, so I want to make sure it keeps going. So as we're here, I'm going to use punches. So if I sit up, maybe he's bucking. So I'm moving up. Now I'm going to hit. This is going to stop him in his tracks. Instinct is, I don't like this. So as I'm hitting, they want to turn away. So I'm going to base, and usually if they're going to go all the way, maybe I'm hitting. He's rolling right over my foot. Now, as he's rolling, I might be hitting. My other foot over here is going to sink in. So if I'm doing this backwards here, So he rolled into this foot here, when I was out, all I'm going to do is kick it in. So I'm going to kick into the hips. Boom. I can maintain position here. I can do whatever I want. Ideally, what I want to do is if he's angled down, I want to come underneath with one of my hands over top with the other one. If I straighten my body out, he's going to straighten out. If he stays flat, that's fine. If he rolls, that's fine. So when I have positional control here on the back, my feet are touching, don't cross my legs. I want to think of each separate hook. So I'm mobile and I can do what I want. From here, this is almost like I'm going to hug them. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff I can do. I have arm controls. Obviously, chokes is one of my best go-to. We can actually use lapels. So as I come up with a lapel here, if I go deep, I have a perfect choke. So these are a lot of opportunity that we have that doesn't take a lot of experience, but they're effective and quick. So as I'm here, I can even go through. As we get to the arm bars, as we get to different places, these are all things from that position that I can do. As I hook, so now I actually have control of his arm, I can come through, same thing. So I have a lot of control factors here, but also a lot of ways to end the fight. It's not going to take long before he becomes unconscious. So this is a lot of those fun positions, at least when you're doing it, not when you get it done to you anyways. So as we're here again, base, if he's worried about my legs, maybe he's trying to pull my legs apart. This is a perfect example of hooking that. Now I can even go up, start going for a reverse triangle, start going for different angles as I'm here. Even as I'm fighting up top, he's gonna play that. If he's trying to sit up, he's gonna try to move. I can actually go through different ways and hook through. Okay, so again, that was leaving off from last time from mount, going full out. Next time I'm going to show you how to put everything together. So we're going to have a full out drill. Again, my name is Josh Trowbridge with World Muay Thai Federation, right here in Madison, Wisconsin. Back to you, Master Guerra.
Okay, this week's segment, I'd like to do some self-defense. So we're going to show you 2 moves that are going to get you out of 19 different ways of getting your wrist grabbed. So enjoy. Hi, Master Dan Segarra for Tang Soo Tv. Welcome to this week's segment. This week we're going to talk about chicken wings. And no, not the kind with barbecue sauce, but how to put your opponent in what's called a chicken wing. And also an arm wrench. There are 19 ways to grab hands that are logical. These 2 movements get you out of all 19 grabs. So now you have to ask yourself a question. Do I want to teach 19 different wrist grabs, or do I want to teach 2 that gets everybody out of everything and allows them to move more freely? There's nothing wrong with having multiple ways to escape, but we want to emphasize things that are going to work best for us. So with that, I'd like to share what's called a chicken wing and the arm wrench. So there are 19 ways to grab the hand. So if Mr. Peters puts his hands out, I can grab this way. Here's 1, 2. Then I switch hands. 3, 4. Double 5, double 6, double 7. Hands are up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Double 5, double 6, double 7. Thumbs down, grabbing this way. 1, because somebody might grab you like this to clear it. Okay? Hand grabbing this way. 2. Hand grabbing this way. 3. Hand grabbing this way. 4. And hand grabbing this way. 5. So that's now 19. Now, a hand will grab this way because they want to throw a punch, or this way and throw a punch. So that's why you have thumb up and thumb down. Now, nobody's going to grab you like this. This is just weird. I mean, you could do it that way, but I doubt highly you're going to run into that situation. So we don't really even bother with it. So with that said, the exercise will be to start off, your partner's going to grab the same side so we can perform what's called the chicken wing. And then when we go across, that's when we'll do the arm wrench. So I will start like this. Mr. Peters will grab the same side arm, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is let that arm go, because he's probably going to come in with power with the intention of hitting with the other hand. So this has to stay up to protect me, right? Then I'm going to step in and drop my arm, cutting right over his arm. and then that brings my hand up, boom, okay? And then from here, there's so many things I can do. I can just go right into striking. I can scoop that arm. There's lots of stuff. So if he grabs this arm straight across, again, I let it go. I pop right over it. And I see I've got this locked under my arm. Most of the time, that's going to happen. And then I could just hit here. Now, instead of going right for the scoop, I can hit, and then it makes that even easier. Always be aware of the other hand. When I do something like this, I'd like to make sure they put their hand on the floor. This way, I can step on it as well. But this way, they can't hit me because they need it for balance. So he grabs the hand. Okay, we're going to come in like that. Right now, this time it's over my arm. Boom, I've got this shot here. Okay, this is up for protection. So now, he grabs this arm and tries to hit me with that arm. Okay, that's why this is here. Okay, and then in, and now strike. Strike is all these strikes that you have when you do this. So typically the way we perform it is he grabs his hand. Okay, we step in, drop it, we strike, and then from here, we strike. I really like these extra coverage versus this kind of motion where you're wide open. Why not? Okay, so now, if he grabs two hands on one hand like that, I just, same thing, drop the arm and strike. Okay, now the great thing about this is the more he holds on, the more this hurts because he's putting himself in a wrist lock as he does it. Now, what if he's an incredible Hulk? I can't move my hand, you know, it's frozen. Well, thaw him out, okay? And then you'll still get out. But I love when this happens. Miss Sir, you didn't show me how to get out of this. I don't know what to do. And they're waving the freaking hand that they get hit with. So you've got an extra hand. So if somebody's dumb enough to grab you like this, pow, then break out, okay? Now if it goes 2-2, same thing, just get one arm. Just take one, either one, and then hit. Don't worry about this one. You can knock it off if you want to, but you've got all the hits right now, okay? So now, if he grabs, if he grabs single, we did that one, right? If he grabs across, this is called the arm wrench. Now, what's the rule? I'm going to let it go. I'm not going to resist his force, and I'm going to just turn my hips and catch his, right above his elbow with my arm, okay? If he grabs across this way, I let the arm go, and I go right here, okay? Then hit and hit again, right? So now he grabs any arm he wants, okay? And then from here, chicken wing, bang, bang. The beauty of this is I can do this with my eyes closed. Now, when you do this with your eyes closed, don't throw powerful strikes. When my eyes are closed now, he grabs. What's the rule? Drop the arm, okay? So if he's coming in this way, let it go. If he's coming in this way, let it go. Now, I don't feel anything here, so then I know I got a chicken wing. Now, this is an inside chicken wing. My eyes are open, correct. Okay, then from here, boom, right? If his same arm goes this way, and it presses out like that, again, I let it go, I turn my hips. What do I feel? I feel an arm there, boom. Okay, I pull my hand back, and there. So you can do this with your eyes closed and get out of 19 different grabs. Now, if he grabs me down here, right, chicken wing. If he grabs across, arm wrench. If he's two hands, I've got my choice here. I can chicken wing. If it's too strong here, this arm's free, I can just arm wrench right into there, okay? So it's a beautiful motion. Now, the beauty of this too is when you do arm wrench here, let's go with this arm so I can turn to the camera. Two hands like we had, yeah. When I do arm wrench here, look at this. I've got this now. It's mine. I can press down. I can lock. I can do all kinds of techniques from here because of that, right? Chicken wing, another gooseneck, not chicken wing. So the chicken wing and arm wrench will get you out of so many different grabs. Now you can do it with two people. Hands up, and they can alternate which hands they grab here. So how I instruct it is, we start off real simple. The hands are up. You get one hand grabbed. You let it go, right? Then you step in and drop over. Then from here, this hand comes up. You back fist, and then reverse punch with the other hand and block your head at the same time. Boom, okay? Hands are up. If they grab across, he just drops his hand. Always drop it. Once you drop the hand, it becomes clear what techniques you have available. If you keep your hands up this way and grabs, now you got too many options, and your brain is going to try to figure out which one you're going to do. And like last week's story, the fox and the squirrel, you're going to get jammed up. So let it go. Let one arm down, and then automatically, there's only so many things you can do from there, and these two things are some of the best things that you can do. So chicken wing and the arm wrench, all right? Thank you, Mr. Peters. So, you know, I love techniques that I can get a lot of mileage out of. And I'd rather my students learn techniques that they can get a lot of mileage out of than a lot of techniques they can get a little mileage out of. Because this allows me now to teach them more things and also give them a much higher percentage of success than if they grab, like in the story of the fox and the squirrel, you know, they know a lot of techniques, but then they get jammed up, versus the squirrel, you know, knows one technique and can get out of, you know, many situations using that. So hopefully you like that. Comment below, and I'll see you next segment. Tang Soo. And now, a segment we're going to now call from this point on Tao Stories by Kyosanem Don Bazufi and myself. Enjoy.
A long time ago in a land far away, two young monks were traveling back to the temple after visiting the city. And as they were traveling on the road, they were discussing the events of the day, philosophy. They came upon a giant puddle of mud stretching from one side of the road to the other. And on the other side of this giant puddle of mud was a beautiful maiden in a beautiful dress, clearly upset that she couldn't cross over the puddle of mud without ruining her dress. Tears were rolling down her face, and she was sobbing. The older monk said, "What seems to be the problem?" "I'm on my way to my cousin's wedding, and if I cross this puddle of mud, it'll ruin my dress and dishonor my cousin." The younger monk said, "We'd love to help you, but we're not allowed to touch women. It's against the temple's rules." Just as he finished saying that, the older monk scooped her up, carried her across the puddle of mud, and safely and cleanly put her down on the other side. She smiled and thanked them, and they went on their way. The monks walked a couple more miles in silence, and then the younger monk exploded and said, "How could you have touched that woman? We're not allowed to touch women, let alone carry them." The older monk then turned and looked at him and said, "Brother, I put her down miles ago. You're still carrying her."
I'd like to remind everyone, November 9th is Grandmaster Huang Qi's birthday, and I'd like to take a moment to appreciate the positive impact he's had on all of us as Tang Soo practitioners. So, Kwangjinim Huang Qi, wherever you are, 대단히 감사합니다. And that's it for this week's show. Join us for next week. We're going to have more exciting segments and more terrific Tang Soo for you. So until then, this is Master Dan Segara, Tang Soo.